Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His Word. And family, once again, it is that time of the week. I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And once again, thank you for bringing us in with your brother this week. And family, for those of you that do not know yet, but the tickets are now available for the Royal Gathering, Friday night, February 18, 2022, live from Carpenter Hall at 7 p.m. So there is a link in the description right now where you can go and get your tickets. And family, I want to see everybody there, not just the royal family, all of Israel, each and every last one of us. So please go ahead and get your tickets because I cannot wait to see you there. And speaking of which, first and foremost, I would like to publicly thank Queen Katrina Williams Parker. Now, let me tell y'all what this sister did. This sister went ahead and said, you know what? I know I'm not going to be able to make it, but I want to bless somebody else. So she went ahead and purchased 2 tickets, one that has already been redeemed and another that we're going to give away right here tonight. So Queen Katrina, first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for not being selfish, and thank you for blessing 2 people to be there Friday night, February 18th. So once again, Queen, thank you. And so being that so many of you like cheating when we do giveaways, so throughout the lesson, I'm just going to randomly call out a hashtag. It's going to come out of absolutely nowhere. The first person to send me that hashtag on my Instagram, the Instagram is at Mike Maliss. It's yours. It's the very first person. So if you want it, it's going to be there for you. Next, family, Queen Tanya, she's back. She's back with another lesson for our queens and our princesses, which is coming right after this lesson here tonight. So please, for all you queens and all you princesses, please go over to Queen Tanya's her platform, and that link will be right here in the description below as well, so that you'll know how to navigate to get there. Now, family. Oh, goodness gracious. The topic here tonight. And I'm going to be very honest. I'm not surprised that this came so fast, but it did. For those of you who are not familiar with what's going on or what has happened over in China, they built an artificial sun. China built an artificial sun. Now, do y'all remember about a month ago, when we had the lesson, what was it called? They just announced prophecy. It was that lesson right there. It was about a month ago. They just announced prophecy. Do y'all remember when we was having this discussion in regards to them building weapons? Do y'all remember that? What we're going to do here tonight, we are going to go over some of the things that we went over before. But I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to prove it to you. That these things are indeed weapons. Now, before we do anything, I want you to see this. First, let me show you this video here real quick. I want you to take a look at this video, and then we are going to get deep, so deep into this lesson, all right? So, without any further ado, family, here you go. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you are just sitting there like, okay. If you don't get the significance behind that and how dangerous and how diabolical what you just witnessed is, there's something seriously wrong with you. I kid you not, there's something wrong with you. These evil, wicked individuals, they put an artificial sun in the sky. But here's the thing though. So many of you, you're not getting the science behind what they're doing. So that's what we are going to go in depth with here tonight. What we're going to do, we're going to prove the world with the word, as I love doing. So yes, there's going to be some article readings. There's going to be another video that I show you here to show you that this is what these diabolical individuals have been up to for a very, very long time. Okay, now first, as y'all know what I always love doing, I want you to please go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21. So family, this is now the time to please open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. And once again, please go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21. Now, y'all know every time we go there and I bring that out, we are about to get into some stuff here. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 21. Let's see what it says here, family. Let's see what it says. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. Because anything that I'm going to bring out here tonight, I'm going to be able to back it up. And not only am I going to back it up in the world, but I'm also going to back it up in the word as well. And I'm telling you, right now, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me get a drink real quick before we get into this. I'm telling you, family, when I tell you it is on and popping, it is on and popping. These other nations know what's getting ready to go down. We just recently talked about all these things. And here it is, not even a month later, because we did 2 back-to-back lessons. Not even a month later, they are starting to show their ass. And like I said, tonight's going to be a little bit of review. And then we're going to get deep into the science of what you saw in the sky. And you're going to see why this is such a horrible, horrible event that is taking place. But it really depends on what side of the fence you stand on. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Okay, so now, before we get into more scripture, as a matter of fact, no, let's get the scriptures first. Let's give the Most High his due. Let's get these scriptures first. All right, I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 34. I don't want to go ahead of myself. I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 34 because the next video that I show you, I want to put all this here together so that when you watch the video, you're going to see this is going to be fresh on your mind. All right, Isaiah chapter 34, and I want you to go to verse 1, please. Now, I need you to understand something here. Now, remember, the last time we talked about the CERN Large Hadron Collider, right? We talked about that about a month ago in the They Just Announced Prophecy lesson. That was done in Switzerland. Now we're talking about China. So these are the other nations that are doing these things here, right? Okay, so now, Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear. So this is a broadcast to everybody. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein the world, and all things that come forth of it. So it's not only the people, but it's also the animals, the creepy crawly things, all the things that are right here on this earth, even the trees. But he's talking to the nations though, but he wants everyone to hear. But he's talking to the nations. Listen to what he says next. For the indignation, so the hatred, the disgust, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Let me stop for a second. All nations, all nations. So for those of you out there that are saying, oh, well, no, God is going to save some people. He said all nations. Oh no, this nation over here, they never did anything. The Father said all nations. So don't take his words and try to twist them up. He said all. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. And his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Now remember, this is Isaiah talking. This is a prophet. And what does a prophet do? A prophet predicts future events. Already had the vision. This is why he said, come on, let everybody hear, because right now Isaiah is laying down everything. Let's continue. Their slain, meaning their destruction, their murder, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Do you understand what the Most High is saying here? He's talking to the nations. He's talking to the nations. He's letting the nations know. He's telling them right now. As you see, this hasn't happened yet. Let me read this again. Their slain also shall be cast out, which means this has not happened yet. This is for a future event. And their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, meaning their dead bodies, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Shall be, meaning it has not happened yet. Verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, meaning when that sky cracks, baby, oh, it's coming and it's going to happen. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down. As the leaf falleth off of the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. It shall come down upon Idumea. That's Edom, Esau, who the world now calls the Caucasians. This is not racism. This is scripture. All this so far, we haven't even gotten to anything really yet. But who did the Father make that promise upon? He said it's going to come down on Idumea. The ones, the worst of them all. But remember, he's talking to all nations. So right here is just showing you who he's targeting first. I'm telling you, you better be glad your black ass woke up a damn Israelite this morning, boy. I'm telling you right now. Let's read that again. My sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The 2/3. Wait a minute now. So the Father's saying, wait a second, I'm going to bring the destruction on all the nations, especially Esau, but also on the people that's under my curse. You Israelites, 2/3 disobedient Israelites. And that's why I wanted to read this first before I showed you the other video. The Father saying he is not playing any games. He is not playing any games at all. Verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, which is the capital of damn Esau, Edom, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. A great slaughter. Death is promised. Do you get it? Do you understand it? Verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, meaning it has not come yet, meaning this is the day to come. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion, for the controversy of what they have done to the Israelites, all of the heartache, turmoil, rape, torture, mind-bending, everything that they've done. The deliberate changing of the laws to keep us in sin, the controversy of Zion. What is the Father saying? The Father's saying, I'm going to pay everybody back for what they've done to you. And for the disgusting 2/3 Israelites that want to continue in that sin and try to take you away from it, try to take you away from the word, try to take you away from keeping the commandments. That includes the Christian churches. That includes some of these camps with their false doctrines. The Father's not playing any games. None whatsoever. None. And he made that promise. Slaughter, blood, rivers of it. But who do you think he's really going to use to bring this down on our people? Huh? Now I'm getting ready to show you this video. Many of you have already seen this, and it's from a movie. Many of you have already seen this. Now, mind you, this movie came out in 2004. 2004. But we're going to get into some more history here. Some more of it. So without any further ado, family, I want you to go ahead and I want you to take a look at this.
These smart arms are controlled by my brain through a neural link. Nanowires feed directly into my cerebellum, allowing me to use these arms to control fusion reaction in an environment no human hand could enter.
Doctor, if the artificial intelligence in the arms is as advanced as you suggest, couldn't that make you vulnerable to them?
How right you are. Which is why I developed this inhibitor chip to protect my higher brain function. It means I maintain control of these arms, instead of them controlling me. And now on to the main event. Give me the blue light, Rosie. Precious tritium is the fuel that makes this project go. There's only 25 pounds of it on the whole planet. I'd like to thank Harry Osborne and Oscorp Industries for providing it.
Happy to pay the bills, Otto.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts.
Doctor, we have a successful fusion reaction.
This is a breakthrough beyond your father's dreams. Thank you.
We're producing 1,000 megawatt surplus.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please clear the room!
We have a containment breach!
Shut it off, Otto! Shut it off! It will stabilize! It's under control! I'm in charge here! It's my money! I'm in charge!
This doesn't change anything.
What are you doing? Pulling the plug! No!
Yeah. Yeah. Now, y'all are going to ask me, why in the world have I shown that to you? First and foremost, this is talking about fusion. Fusion. Did you by any chance happen to pay attention to the lights that was in that video? The lights. What color were they? What color was the light that went in and protruded into his spine? And it was at the very tip of that apparatus. What color was that light? Bluish purple. Why is that so significant today? Are they not putting up all these blue and purple lights all over these damn cities in your neighborhoods? Now, YouTube wouldn't let me show it, so I had to put it on Instagram. For those of you that have not seen that on my Instagram, go take a look. I covered that. But what was the main focus, though? Well, the power of the sun in his hands. They've been at this for a long time. It's 2022. That came out in 2004. Just like I tell y'all all the time, they use their movies, their media, to communicate with each other. It's no secret. It's what they do. And they've been doing it for a very long time, going all the way back to Orson Welles' The War of the Worlds broadcast that scared the hell out of everybody. They've been doing this for a very long time. So, behind the science of that, now, as we go through these articles here, you're going to see what that whole video was all about. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do a little review of CERN that we talked about before. So just to go ahead and show you, all of this here will be in the description as well. I'm going to read you an article right here, just to show you I'm not making anything up. Here it is right here. In regards to China. So we're going to begin with China, and then we're going to have a little brief review about CERN. Okay? Here we go. China's $1 trillion artificial sun fusion reactor just got 5 times hotter than the sun. 5 times hotter. They built a device that puts off heat that's hotter than the sun. That right there should already make your skin crawl. Let's read it. The experimental fusion reactor could help to unlock near limitless clean energy. That's the guise that they're going under. Clean energy. There's no such thing. China's artificial sun has set a new world record after superheating a loop of plasma to temperatures 5 times hotter than the sun for more than 17 minutes, state media reported. This is ridiculous. The Chinese experimental nuclear fusion reactor smashed the previous record set by France's Tour Super Tokamak in 2003. We're going to get that definition here in a second. Where plasma in a coiling loop remained at similar temperatures for 390 seconds. EAST had previously set another record in May 2021 by running for 101 seconds at an unprecedented 216 million degrees Fahrenheit. Do you understand what they're doing? Some of you already caught on, but maybe not many of you. The core of the actual sun. They heated this machine up to the core of the sun temperature. By contrast, reaches temperatures around 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, 15 million Celsius. Do y'all see the similarity between this and CERN already? What is it? It's a loop. Let's get the definition of tokamak. Let's see what that's all about. Because it's going to make all the sense in the world. Like I said, you have to understand the science behind what these evil individuals do. Here's what a tokamak is. A tokamak is a device which uses a powerful magnetic field to confine plasma in the shape of a torus. And a torus is a circle. It's a ring. It's a ring with a hole in the middle of it, just like a donut. The tokamak is one of several types of magnetic confinement devices being developed to produce controlled thermonuclear fusion power. So for those of you that are not understanding the significance of this, just like what we talked about with CERN, it's a ring that spins. We're going to get back into it here in a second for those of you that may have missed that lesson. But what does it do? It is a superconductor to where you are able to take the magnetic field and heat these things up and spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it. Then boom, it shoots out power. Why? Now, for those of you that remember in the last lesson, I keep forgetting the name of this damn lesson. They just announced prophecy. What did I say that they were going to do with this? They were going to use it as weapons. Did I or did I not say that? And that's exactly what they're doing. How do we know? What was the first video that we watched? So now China is showing that we are able to take this damn thing from the spinning coil and point it where we want it to go. That is what that video was. That is what it is. It's a weapon, and I proved that to you in the last lesson. And now China just came right out and said, yes, now you got to remember, this is all an arms race. All of this is going on right now with these nations. It is all an arms race. So now, as China has always been the ones at the forefront of technology. They always have been. And now China is like, okay, well, guess what? I'm going to show y'all exactly what this does. And they took it and pointed the thing at the damn sky. Look up, for your redemption draws nigh. Everything about the last days is in the sky. Everything. So now China just revealed that that energy they're able to take out of the coil out of the ground, because remember, these things are underground. They're able to take it from underground and point it in the sky, just like we talked about before. Let me continue. The recent operation lays a solid scientific and experimental foundation towards the running of a fusion reactor. Experiment leader Gong Zhiasu, a researcher at the Institute of Plasma Physics of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, said in a statement. Scientists have been trying to harness the power of nuclear fusion. I'm going to read that one more time. Scientists have been trying to harness the power of nuclear fusion, the process by which stars burn, for more than 70 years, by fusing hydrogen atoms to make helium under extremely high pressures and temperatures. So-called main sequence stars are able to convert matter, into light and heat like a damn laser beam, generating enormous amounts of energy without producing greenhouse gases or long-lasting radioactive waste. Why? Why are they trying to push forth this whole clean energy? Because when the chariots come, they don't want to destroy the planet that they're on. It's starting to make sense yet? Because after this battle, they think that they're going to win. We got to have some place to live. I'm telling you, y'all better get into what's going on. But replicating the conditions found inside the hearts of stars is no simple task. The most common design for fusion reactors, the tokamak, which is what we just talked about, that spinning ring, just like CERN, works by superheating plasma, one of the 4 states of matter, consisting of positive ions and negatively charged free electrons, before trapping it inside a donut-shaped reactor chamber with powerful magnetic fields. And we're going to get into that here in a second. We just talked about that with the tokamak. Keeping the turbulent and superheated coils of plasma in place long enough for nuclear fusion to happen, however, has been a painstaking process. Soviet scientists, stop. So now, just a couple of weeks ago, we talked about first Russia and China forming a union. Family, what the hell do you think is going on here? If you don't understand what's going on, it's the end. There's absolutely no way in the hell how all of these nations are now starting to get together and they're devising a plan to try to fight against the Most High and his chariots. Okay, let me continue again. Keeping the turbulent and superheated coils of plasma in place long enough for nuclear fusion to happen. However, it has been a painstaking process. Soviet scientist Natan Yavlinsky designed the first tokamak in 1958. Did we not just go over that date as well? But no one has ever managed to create an experimental reactor that is able to put out more energy than it takes in. Except for now, China. Once again, it mentions East. East is expected to cost China more than $1 trillion by the time the experiment finishes running in June. And it is being used to test out technologies for an even bigger fusion project. The International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. That's what it's called. That's the one. That's the big boy that they're working on. And guess what? It's not even CERN. This is something that is bigger than CERN. CERN's reactor is 27 kilometers round. So they're going to create something bigger than this that they are already working on, family. All of this is happening right now. This project that China did cost $1 trillion. And now they're saying, no, we're going to make something bigger than CERN. The big boy, the super thermonuclear one. Why is all this thermonuclear energy, why is it trying to be harvested? Why are they trying to do that? Because they know the God of Israel is coming with his chariots. Let me continue. I'm going to read that one more time. East, which is EAST, is expected to cost China more than $1 trillion by the time the experiment finishes running in June, and it is being used to test out technologies for an even bigger fusion project. The International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor that is currently being built in Marseille, France. They even tell you where it's going to be. Set to be the world's largest nuclear reactor and the product of collaboration between 35 countries. 35 countries. So when we were reading the scriptures earlier, what did the Father say he was going to do to these nations? Did the Father say, or did he not say, that he's going to destroy these nations? Drop my thing here. Did the Father say, or did he not say, that he was going to destroy these nations? So now here is the word proving the world. All these nations are getting together, putting this here, their so-called defense system, to try to fight against the Most High and his chariots. You better understand, family. You better understand what is getting ready to go down. This is not a joke. This is not a joke at all. Let's continue. Let me see where I want to start off at. Okay, right. I'm starting right here. Set to be the world's largest nuclear reactor and the product of collaboration between 35 countries, including every state in the European Union. We just went over that. In the UK, China, India, and the United States. ITER, which is what we read the acronyms earlier, contains the world's most powerful magnet. So these magnetic forces, they're using magnetic technology to allow this to happen, making it capable of producing a magnetic field 280,000 times as strong as the one around the Earth. Do you understand what that is saying? Now, in the video that you just watched, do you remember where the paperclip started to fly? Do you remember where all the metal objects and everything were being pulled and sucked in? They have been talking about this all the way in 2004 and putting it in their movies. Hollywood is not slick. I tell y'all all the time, you gotta pay attention to what they do. They put it right there in your face. Right there in your face. They said, we are going to show you niggas exactly what we got planned. The power in the sun in the palm of my hand. I'm trying to tell y'all. And niggas be thinking, oh, this is the conspiracy theorist. This nigga crazy. Okay. Not only is the world proving it, but also the word has proven it as well. And it will continue to prove it. We're going to get it later. Okay. ITER contains the world's most powerful magnet, making it capable of producing a magnetic field 280,000 times as strong as the one around the Earth, Live Science previously reported. The fusion reactor is expected to come online in 2025. In 2025. In 2025. In 2025. 3 years away. Y'all think they playing? Do you think these other nations are playing around? They know what's coming. These other nations understand that the end is here. How many of you actually saw the lesson that we did? It was like 2 years ago. Actually, probably about 3 years ago. How many of y'all remember the lesson, they know what's coming? What did I teach in that lesson? Do you remember? I showed y'all that NASA said that they're trying to get the hell up off of Earth. They're going back to the moon. Back to the moon. They're going back. I'm telling y'all, so many people think it's a joke. Let's continue. The fusion reactor is expected to come online in 2025, and it will provide scientists with even more insights into the practicalities of harnessing star power on Earth. China is also pursuing more of its own programs to develop nuclear fusion power. It is conducting inertial confinement fusion experiments and is planning to complete a new tokamak by the early 2030s. That's less than 10 years away. Y'all are going to see what the word has to say about all of this here in a bit. Elsewhere, the first viable fusion reactor could be completed in the United States as soon as 2025. and a British company hopes to be commercially generating electricity from fusion by 2030. Remember, they put all of their plans right in your face. But a lot of people don't like reading it, though. They don't like reading. They can't stand to read. They don't like getting in the news, and they don't like comparing the news to scripture to show that the Father is actually telling the truth about everything that he said. Okay. So now, we're going to pull something here from CERN. This is a different article now. This is directly on CERN's website. Here we go. In 1928, British physicist Paul Dirac wrote down an equation that combined quantum theory and special relativity to describe the behavior of an electron moving at a relativistic speed. The equation which won Dirac the Nobel Prize in 1933 posed a problem. Just as the equation x squared equal 4 can have two possible solutions, x equals 2 or x equals -2. So Dirac's equation could have two solutions. One for an electron with positive energy, just like we read earlier, and one for an electron with negative energy, just like we read earlier. But classical physics and common sense dictated that the energy of a particle must always be a positive number. Dirac interpreted the equation to mean that for every particle that exists, a corresponding antiparticle. And you know what that's called? It is called antimatter. Exactly matching the particle, but with opposite charge. For example, for the electron, there should be an anti-electron or a positron. That's the scientific term of it. Identical in every way, but with a positive electric charge. Possibility of the entire galaxies and universes made of antimatter. Antimatter. Now, I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with antimatter or how many of you maybe have studied this here before, but this was late 2010s. I believe probably around 2012, 2013. They actually harvested some antimatter, and they took this antimatter and they took it to a college, and that college was in Arizona. When they put that antimatter in the college, everybody in the area, everybody in the vicinity started going crazy and losing their minds. What they're harvesting is what you call evil. That's what it is. That's what it is. And they have taken, it's like, y'all really need to do your studies on this here. You need to see just how wicked these people truly, truly are. Let's continue. But when matter and antimatter come into contact, so let me stop for a second. So remember, when we talked about the coils, and they said that they take them, they speed them up and make them crash. But when matter and antimatter come into contact, they annihilate. They annihilate, disappearing in a flash of energy. The Big Bang should have created equal amounts of matter and antimatter. So why is there far more matter than antimatter in the universe? Why? Because that's the way that the Father made it. What they're trying to do is collect evil to point at the Most High in them damn chariots. And y'all think this is a damn joke. Some people think it's a joke. At CERN, physicists make antimatter to study in experiments. They're admitting to you that they're making this stuff. The starting point is the antiproton decelerator, which slows down antiprotons so that physicists can investigate their properties. They're telling you all their science, putting it out there in their articles. Remember, we talked about the magnets, right? This is why I tell y'all got to understand anything. You must understand what is going down with all of this. Now we're going to read, again, CERN's website. This is a different article now. But now we're going to learn a little bit about magnetic technology. Watch this. Inside the accelerator, Two high-energy particle beams travel at close to the speed of light before they are made to collide. This is a different article. I'm not reading what we just read. This is still on the CERN's website, but this is an entirely different article. I'm going to start over. Inside the accelerator, two high-energy particle beams travel at close to the speed of light before they are made to collide. The beams travel in opposite directions in separate beam pipes. Two tubes kept at ultra-high vacuum. They are guided around the accelerator ring by a strong magnetic field maintained by superconducting electromagnets. Go back, think about the video. Think about the Spider-Man video that we just watched. The electromagnets are built from coils of specific electric cable that operates in a superconducting state, efficiently conducting electricity without resistance or loss of energy. If you don't understand what that means, it means that it's taking that energy and it is spinning it and spinning it and spinning it and spinning it so that it loses absolutely no energy whatsoever. It does not lose its potential. It does not lose its force. And what do? They take them and they point it, just like we saw in the video with China, with their artificial sun, the power of my sun. But not even this here, but the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Not only was it in the palm of their hand, but they got it to a degrees that is hotter than the sun. Not only that, but also a magnetic field that is 280,000 times stronger than the magnetic pull of the earth. This requires chilling the magnets to 271.3 Celsius, a temperature colder than out of space. For this reason, much of the accelerator is connected to a distribution system of liquid helium, which cools the magnets as well as to other supply services. Thousands of magnets of different varieties and sizes are used to direct the beams around the accelerator. These include 1,232 dipole magnets, 15 meters in length, which bend the beams, and 392 quadruple magnets, each 5 through 7 meters long, which focus the beams, which focus the beams. Just prior to collision, another type of magnet is used to squeeze the particles closer together to increase the chances of collision. The particles are so tiny that the task of making them collide is akin to firing two needles 10 kilometers apart with such precision that they meet halfway. All the controls for the accelerator, its services and technical infrastructure are housed under one roof at the CERN Control Center. From here, the beams inside the LHC, which is the Large Hadron Collider, are made to collide at 4 locations around the accelerator ring, corresponding to the positions of 4 particle detectors: Atlas, CMS, Alice, and LHCb. We talked about each and every last one of those. Family, these niggas are wicked as hell. These people are disgustingly wicked. But they truly believe, truly believe that they're going to defend themselves against the Most High. But what I'm trying to point out here to you, they're ready. They're ready to fight. But yet our people play around so damn much. Our people are out there worrying about what's going on with Cardi B and her lawsuit, what's going on with their damn jobs. They have no care in the world for the Most High. None. They have no care in the world for the Most High. They have no care in the world for their brother or their sister. None. Selfish. They don't care. All of this is happening on the planet right now. They're telling you in your face. Nobody's listening. Nobody. Could not care less. And all of this evil is being done right under your nose. And they're telling you about it. They're telling you about it. So now, family, I want you to please go to Jeremiah chapter 11, please. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 11. We're going to read the entire chapter. The entire chapter. Because for those who are playing, you better stop. When I tell y'all need to be out at this gathering in Irving, Texas, you better be there. A lot of y'all think you have time and you don't. I'm telling you. Let's read this. Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant and speak unto the men of Judah. Stop. Judah. Y'all better be the first ones there. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, family. Y'all better be there. You're going to see why. Hear ye the words of this covenant and speak unto the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel. Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant, which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice and do them according to all which I command you. So shall ye be my people, and I will be your God. Do you understand this? So when the Father tells us to gather ourselves together, come out. What did we learn last week? That we are trying to get away from the damn heathen. You see the things that they are doing now. This is why the Father said, get together, bring yourselves together. And now he made it so easy for us to do. So many, let me take a detour for a second. So many of you, y'all are depending on this being live streamed. Let me tell you something. It is me with an open mic on YouTube. Do not think for 1 second that they're not going to be watching that and they're going to shut it off when I start talking. Remember, it's going to be me with a live microphone. Do not depend on that live stream. It's planned, but not guaranteed. You need to be there. I'm telling you, you need to be there. Verse 5, that I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, so be it, O Lord. Do you see how Jeremiah was? Obedient. Obedient. Yes, Father, I'll do what you say. This is why I tell y'all, press your way. Then the Lord said unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant and do them. For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice. The Father is making this clear. Y'all better listen to me. He said, I told your fathers, and now I'm telling you. I told your foremothers, and now I'm telling you. Verse 8, yet they obeyed not, saying they didn't listen, like many of our people today. Don't listen. We don't listen. Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I command them to do, but they did them not. The Father said, y'all are not listening to me. When we have one of your brothers that put together one occasion for y'all to get together, you need to go. You need to go. When your brother is sitting there telling you to keep the commandments, You better listen. You better listen. So all these things are going to lead up to something when the Father told us to gather ourselves together, O nation not desired. And there's going to be so many people that are like, no. But yet you go ahead, you go to a football game, you go to a basketball game, you go to all these different things. You go to the club, you go to a Sunday church, you go to work, you go to all these different things. But when the Father says get together, then some people want to pull back. These are commandments being laid down, family. And the Lord said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So what is the Father saying here? For the so-called Negroes is what they call us, saying that you brothers need to be bringing people in. Bring them! Bring them so that they can hear the word. For all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, all of the 12 tribes, be present. Hear the word. Hear the commandments that the Father has one of his sons bringing out. Verse 10, they are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, meaning we did what we was doing before with our forefathers, just what they did, sinning, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them. I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. All these things that have happened. Do you not think first of all, let's stop for a second. Here you have a device that Moab has went ahead and created that is hotter than the sun, and they put it in the air. Do you not think that is not going to have any ramifications on this planet? The Father's allowing these things to happen. He's letting it happen. A device that they put into the sky that is burning hotter than the sun. And the Father said he's going to allow it to happen. He's letting it happen. Whew, I'm telling you. Verse 12. Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. The Father is telling us, hey, family, gather yourselves together. Go ahead and come unto me. Come on to me so that I can be in the midst of you. Bring yourselves. But no, you want to run after your other gods. So take those other gods when these things start to happen to you and you are crying out. Remember, I told you to come gather. I told you to come. I told you to keep my commandments. I told you these things, but yet you wanted to serve other gods. And you know what God that we forgot to talk about? The God of your damn self, the religion of me, saying, no, I'm not going to do those things. No, I'm not going to do them. I'm telling you, time is running out. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Verse 14, therefore pray not thou for this people. The Father said, don't pray for them people. You want to be rebellious? Don't pray for them. Do not pray for these people, neither lift up a cry or a prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. The Father's making it clear. You want to go follow and do other things? You want to disrespect me? You want to go against my word? You want to go against my commandments? Nigga, don't lift your voice to me. I'm not hearing it. Go do what you want to do with them other gods. You put them before me. You put yourself before me. Have at it. All the things that's going around in the world right now, I'm going to let these niggas kill you. I'm going to let it happen. I'm not bringing this out here by my own opinion. I'm telling you exactly what the scriptures are saying. The Father's saying that, not me. The Father is saying it. What hath my beloved to do in mine house, seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many? And the holy flesh is passed from thee. When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken. You're a part of that branch. You are a part of that branch. What is the Father saying? He's saying, listen, you are a part of greatness, but yet you want to break yourself off from the tree that produces good fruit, from the tree that produces life, but yet you want to snap yourself off and die. He said, I'm going to let you. Go right ahead. For the Lord of hosts that planted thee hath pronounced evil against thee. For the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves, to provoke me to anger in offering incense to Baal. And the Lord hath given me knowledge of it, and I know it, and I know it. Then thou shootest me their doings. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me, that they have devised devices against me. Devices, just like these nations did, just like what you saw earlier today. Just like you saw earlier in this lesson. A so-called artificial sun. Weapons. So if you think they've created that, what else do you think they've created? Come on, family, pick up now. So again, when the Father is telling us, and I'm going to stress this, when the Father is telling our people to gather together, that's what he means. Let's continue. Let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered. But, O Lord of hosts, that judgest righteously, that triest the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them, for unto thee have I revealed my cause. Now remember, we talked about this last week, family. We talked about this last week. The Father said, y'all need to get together to get away from these damn heathens because of the things that they are doing. These devices. And we're going to get a precept for that, don't you worry. Verse 21. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of the men of Anathoth, that seek thy life, saying, prophecy, not in the name of the Lord, that thou die not by our hand. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will punish them. I'm going to read that again. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will punish them. The young men shall die by the sword. Their sons and their daughters shall die by famine, and there shall be no remnant of them. There shall be no remnant. If you don't understand what that means, family, that means that they're not going to be remembered. They're not going to be remembered. Remember, we talked about Idumea. And what the Father said. Now, for those who don't understand this, when it comes to Esau, they are the devils that the Bible speaks about. And the Father said that they are going to be completely obliterated off of this planet after serving 1,000 years of hard bondage slavery. For the controversy against Zion, for the things that they've done to us, for the things that they're doing right now, for destroying the planet, for destroying the resources, for completely taking this planet and turning it on its head. And there shall be no remnant of them, for I will bring evil upon the men of Anathoth, even the year of their visitation. Okay. So now, family, let's go ahead and hit that precept real quick. I want you to go to Psalms chapter 21. Psalms chapter 21. Let's get it. Psalms chapter 21, verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, King David, royalty, our ancestor. The king shall joy in the strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation. And in thy salvation, how greatly shall he rejoice. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and has not withholden the request of his lips. Selah. For thou preventest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold upon his head. He asked life of thee, and thou gavest it him, even length of days forever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation, honor and majesty hast thou laid upon him, for thou hast made him most blessed forever. Thou hast made him exceeding glad with thy countenance. So let me stop. Detour. Hashtag. Thank you, Queen Kim. The first person that gets that to me on Instagram, that ticket is yours. 4. The king trusteth in the Lord, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies, all, just like we read earlier, all thine enemies, thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. We talked about this here, family. The Most High's wrath, he's not playing. He is not playing at all. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. Did we not just read that in Isaiah 34? Did we not just bring that out? Not Isaiah 34, but Jeremiah 11. Did we not just bring that out, family? For they intended evil against thee, for they intended evil against you. They imagined a mischievous device. Mischievous. Which they are not able to perform. All praises to the Most High God. What the Father say? The Father, these niggas think they're going to be able to beat me? These niggas truly believe that they're going to be able to defeat me in my chariots? Please. Therefore shalt thou make them turn their back. When thou shalt make ready thine arrows upon thy strings against the face of them, be thou exalted. Be thou exalted. Be thou exalted, Lord, in thine own strength. So will we sing and praise thy power. Our forefathers knew what was coming. Our forefathers knew that these silly niggas were going to try to fight against the Most High. They knew all about the devices that they were going to try to make. And they're laughing. And our forefathers right here in King David is saying we're going to be laughing and rejoicing. We're going to rejoice, dancing, pop locking. We are going to be rejoicing as these fools try. But which ones? The 1/3. The 1/3. Because as we read earlier, the Father said, I'm not dealing with the 2/3. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them right along with Idumea. Family, I cannot stress this enough. The time for fun and games are over. You do not have time. You think you do, but you don't. As you see, as we read earlier, these individuals, they're putting the timestamp on everything. They're rushing this. They're rushing to make this happen. Why? Because they know it's the end. They know it's the end. They know. And now you know. And being that you know, you have work to do. You got to stop playing around. You need to keep the Father's commandments. And you need to congregate. This has to happen. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. It is no coincidence that all of these lessons here from the past month have all accumulated and cultivated into one big lesson. And that was not designed by me. I had nothing to do with that. It's the Father and his Spirit that is working through our people. That's what's happening. And now the rest is up to you. Israel! I am so glad that we was able to go ahead and bring this out. And as you clearly see, there's no time to be playing games. Make it happen. Press your way out to Irving, Texas. I want you to be there. You need to be there. First of all, I want to meet every last one of you. I want to be able to shake your hand, hug you, whatever the hell it is that you like doing, whichever one. But that fellowship needs to happen. It needs to happen because time is running out. It's running. It's running out. That hourglass is almost full at the bottom. So don't think that you have time. Don't think it. A lot of people last night had plans today, and they weren't able to make those plans because the Most High went ahead and took them. So stop thinking that you have time. You don't. Press your way there. I want to see you there, family. I want to see you there. I want to see everybody there. I love y'all. And I can't wait for the day for all of us to follow the Most High's instructions. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Why? Because these heathens are suiting up for the greatest war that this planet has ever seen. Gather ourselves. Let's make it happen, family. So once again, the link is in the description right now. And I look so forward to meeting every last one of you so that we can give the Most High his praise, his honor, and his glory. And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.